Kerry has just won the Jimmy's 10K. Congratulations, Kerry.
Thank you.
How was the race for you today?
It went out quite fast today. I think I got sucked in a little bit to the men and the people who were running the relay, so the first couple of kilometres were quite fast. But I was feeling relaxed and I was enjoying it, but I suppose it got a little bit harder towards the end of the race, so I think the last 3k was a bit tough for me, but I really enjoyed it. It's a great race, the weather was fantastic, and you know, Joe Quinn and East Down do a fantastic job every year.
Excellent, excellent. And how did you find the hills at the start of the race? Quite often people do complain about the hills, but...
Yeah, I think because the main hill up to the cathedral is, you know, quite early on in the race, it's sort of sharp and fast and it's over so quickly, you know, it's over quickly. But I think it did take the legs out of a few people because the race did start so fast. That first kilometre was really fast and then you were sort of into that sharp hill. It's over pretty quickly, and as soon as you get up it, you've got a nice downhill. So, you know, it's enjoyable, and I suppose it is a focal point in Downpatrick, so it's great to go around there.
Good job, good job. And the heat, did the heat affect you at all today?
It was warm today, but I have been working in a heat acclimatisation chamber at the University of Ulster to prepare for the Rio Olympics. So I've had a lot of heat training. So, you know, today when it was only about maybe sort of 10, 11 degrees out there, you know, that didn't faze me at all. It was fine because I've been working in temperatures of 35 and 40 degrees in training a couple of times a week to prepare for Rio, so I think I'm acclimatised to today okay.
Excellent, excellent. So then moving on from today, what are the plans over the next period of time for your training?
Yeah, so I'm in a training block now just to take me through to April time when I go to altitude to Fontramaux. I'll base myself in Fontramaux from April right through to the summer. And I will be there at my training base, and I will fly in and out to races, so hopefully get a few early steeplechases in June. In July we have the European Championships, and I've qualified for the steeplechase for that, and then obviously hopefully, fingers crossed, all going well in selections in July, I'll make it to that start line in Rio. My race will be on the 13th of August.
That would be fantastic. I think everybody in East Down and obviously Newcastle AC will be looking forward to that, and hopefully the selectors will see sense. Yeah, I'm sure they will, I'm sure they will. So Fontramaux then, you spent a bit of time in Fontramaux. Does your body work well with the high altitude training?
It does. I've been going to Fontramaux since 2006, and it's worked very well. We are 6,000 feet up in Fontramaux, so it's pretty hard when you first get there and try to train. You know, you're sort of gasping for air all the time, but you know, you come back and you know, you feel so much fitter. But it's a great training camp out there, and the sun's nearly shining every single day, and so although temperatures could be just similar to home, you know, it's a great facility out there. We've got the track, the gym's close by, and it's just a great place to be. You know, a lot of famous people have gone out there, famous runners, the likes of Paula Radcliffe, I think, first put Fontramaux on the map, and the likes of Mo Farah and a couple of other GB people go out there as well. So there's always a lot of squads out there to work with. There's a lot of Irish athletes and GB athletes who are going to base themselves there as well, which will be great because they'll be company. But it is a fantastic place, and at the minute it's still ski season, so there's still a little bit of snow, so hopefully in a few weeks' time when I head out there in April, the snow will be away and I'll be able to train on the trails. But it's just great to go out there and focus on training and, you know, focus on getting to Rio.
Fantastic. I thought you were going to say there you're looking forward to going perhaps doing a bit of skiing. Obviously that's not on the agenda then.
No, that's not on the agenda, but sometimes you know, there could be a snowdrift comes in.
Okay.
So I do have the cross-country skis as a backup. Spain's only about 20 minutes drive away, so you know, when the snow does come in, you know, I can get in the car once the roads have been cleared and I can drive down to Spain and train there pretty easily. I've had to do that a few times when we've had snow and actually drive to Barcelona, which is a 2-hour drive, and use the track there, which not very many people would do, but athletes and runners do that sort of thing. So I do have the cross-country skis as a backup. I do love cross-country skiing. So if that happens and we sort of can't get on the road for a while, then the skis can be put on for a bit of cross training, which is great fun. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay, and you mentioned the Europeans there. Are you confirmed that you're going to the Europeans?
Again, there'll be a selection process for that as well.
Okay.
So when I ran 9:42 last season, that was the world time, which got me to Beijing. It was also inside the Olympic qualifying time and inside the European Championship time for this year. But obviously, selection criteria, we've got to show form. I think we have to hit another standard again this season before selection, but there will be a selection process again. So everything's not always guaranteed.
No guarantees.
No guarantees.
Obviously, we've been watching you and we've been looking at your times, and consistency is definitely what has been happening recently. Is there anything you can put that down to?
Yeah, I've been working really closely with my coach Richard Rogers on my endurance background. We've been working on that for the past couple of years, but this winter we put a really good block in, really working on that endurance. And working on that endurance is getting me through to a stronger last kilometre in the steeplechase. So that has worked very well, and along with that I work with Tom Reynolds, a hurdles coach from Athletics Northern Ireland, twice a week. So I'm going over the hurdles and going over the barriers twice a week with Tom, which has made me really strong as well. I think that helps a lot with injury prevention as well. It makes your hips and glutes very strong when you're doing that every week. So that's helped keep injuries at bay as well. As well as working along with my physios at the Sports Institute Northern Ireland, and working there with the nutritionists and the strength and conditioning guys too. So all that's all come together nicely. But I suppose it's looking after yourself, listening to your body as well. If you can feel like maybe an illness or a niggle coming on, it's knowing when to ease back a little bit as well. But myself and Richard have been working very carefully and planning everything right, which is it's great to have somebody to do that.
Yeah.
And putting all those extra things together. So we're trying to sort of leave no stone unturned this season. So hence the heat chamber work and things like that as well. Just putting everything in. We will be hopefully looking to use an ice jacket as well for Rio. So on the lookout for one of those.
Ice jacket, can you explain that?
So in Beijing, I was in the call room, and Emma Coburn, who's the American #1 steeplechaser, and she was also giving the Africans a run for their money over the steeplechase last year. Emma Coburn was in my heat, and when we got into the call room, Emma Coburn had an ice jacket on, so it was like a gilet, and it had ice packs in it. And now Emma, trains in Colorado, where it can get very warm in the summer, so she would be used to the heat. But it was, seeing somebody with that on, it was like, oh right, okay. So that was helping bring her core body temperature down. So she would have done her warm up on the track, along with the rest of us, and then after her warm up, she put the ice jacket on, which was helping bring her core body temperature back down. Whereas a lot of the rest of us warmed up, our core body temperature remained high, and then when we stepped onto the track and got into the race, our core body temperature got even higher. Whereas she had brought hers down. So
Yes.
there's a lot of research out there. Once the core body temperature starts to rise, the heart rate starts to rise more, the body starts to produce more lactate and so on. So really sort of the lactic monster jumped on my back in my last kilometre in Beijing when I started to overheat and the heart rate started to rise and so on. So we're hoping to sort of put the ice jacket to the test now in the next couple of weeks, to see what difference that does make to me in training when I go into the heat chamber. So hopefully we can then incorporate that into race day as well in Rio.
As an actor, Al Pacino once said, in any given Sunday, the inches are everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's another one of them, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fantastic. It's good to hear like those type of things.
Yeah, you're learning all the time. There's always something new. Richard's a great coach where he's been learning from other coaches as well. So there's always something. It's not an exact science, but a lot of it is science. Where running's concerned, obviously your nutrition, your different types of training that you do. Even down to how your blood's reacting, different training. My tempo running has to be done at a certain heart rate, and I would work with a little machine that I can prick my finger, test my blood, and to know that I'm working at the right level.
Excellent.
The amount of galactic and so on in the blood. So there's a lot of science behind it.
I would be a big advocate of using the heart rate monitor, and a lot of people looking at me as if to say, I don't know why you're using that. What would you suggest about the heart rate monitor?
I use it every day. First thing in the morning actually as well. I have one that I pop on the finger to make sure that my resting heart rate is staying the same. It's an indicator that you can try every morning. If the heart rate is sort of 5 to 10 beats higher, you can predict if a virus is maybe coming on, so you can hit things on the head pretty early. So I would check my heart rate every morning. Every run I have my heart rate on, because recovery days have to be recovery days, and I know through testing what my recovery heart rate should be on runs. And then of course for your tempo running must be done below lactic threshold. So I've gone and done the testing to indicate what my heart rate should be to be below lactic threshold. I train at that, and I know I'm then training the right energy systems for what I need to do, whether it's preparing for the race or so on. I know I'm training my body correctly, and I know then my body's recovering correctly as well. So I think heart rate, and I know Richard believes heart rate's a big thing where training's concerned, and we've always worked on that.
Brilliant.
Train on my own, but I also have 2 whippets that come with me every day.
Seen the whippets after the race.
Yes.
You were out with them, so that was down for your cool down then, was it?
I was. So they're out for me every day on most recovery runs. When I'm doing sort of faster work, and obviously when I'm on the track, I don't take them on there. But they're out with me every day. They're running about 60 miles a week, sometimes 70 miles a week with me. But they're great company as well, and sort of break training up a little bit as well, because you're sort of watching them dart through the forests and things, and it's great company. I also have other training partners when I go to altitude. Roseanne Galligan, who's the 800 metre Irish record holder, she's going off to the Worlds this next weekend to run on the Worlds in the 1500 metres indoors. So she comes out to altitude with me, and she does a lot of training runs with me as well. So I do train on my own usually when I'm here, recovery running wise, but I do link up with my club Newcastle AC to train and do sessions on Tuesday nights mostly.
Very good.
And some recovery runs with him now and again. So I do mix it about a bit, but most of the time I am in the forest on my own.
Are the whippets going to Front Row with you?
They are. They've got their pet passports, so they come out as well. So they know all the running routes there too. So it's nice to have the company there. They've actually rubbed shoulders with Paula Radcliffe now and again when we bump into her in the forests. Brilliant. And I'm like, please don't trip her up. So yeah, they'll be travelling out there with me too. So it's great company.
Good.
They've been
nice and relaxed, and you'll be able to train easier then whenever everything's organised for you and the dogs are there and you're happy.
Yeah. Sort of, it's Font Romo is a home from home for me out there. I do have my own apartment. Richard and I have our own apartment out there. So it's great. It really is a wee home from home. So it'll be nice and relaxing to have the dogs there as well, and sort of a bit of family around you. Maybe the family will drive or fly out from time to time and come and visit me and stuff, which will be great. But just everything crossed now for August.
Brilliant. Well done.
Thank you.
Kerry, thanks very much.